Now at 5 o'clock for you, it was a year ago today that a man drove into Middlesex Hospital in Middletown, lit himself on fire, all while broadcasting live on Facebook. Now at first, no one knew if it was an isolated incident or part of a pre-planned terror attack. Tonight, Channel 3's Matthew Campbell visits the hospital to see the safety changes that are still ongoing.
Well, this random attack had Homeland Security out here over the course of a month. They did a risk assessment, and what they shared has now been implemented here and at other local hospitals. A year ago today, Stephen Ellum started his descent into death with a Facebook Live of him driving while making a series of comments relating to the president. It ends in him crashing his car into the emergency room of Middlesex Hospital, dousing himself with gasoline and lighting himself on fire. Ellum would die more than a week later from his burns.
I'm certainly not going to forget February 22nd, 2018 at 9:56 in the morning.
Jim Height is the Director of Environmental Safety and Protective Services at Middlesex Health.
It's branded on me. It's part of me now.
Height was one of the many tasked with picking up the pieces from this random attack. In the days after, Eyewitness News showed you how quickly the emergency room was repaired, but the security concerns lingered long after.
We never expected what would have happened on that day.
Height stresses he didn't want to make decisions off emotion, so Homeland Security, as well as a private consulting firm, did a risk assessment on the hospital, going over everything from the structure to the employees, cameras, locks, and other operating procedures.
We now staff our emergency department waiting room with an officer, dedicated officer, so there's that security presence.
Cement barriers installed in the hours after are still here today. Public parking under the emergency room has ended. Extra security has been hired and staff have been retrained.
We don't live in fear, but live aware.
While nothing can be done to remove this random tragedy from Middlesex Health's history, Height says the mission now is to be an example of how to move forward.
We did rise to this occasion and we persevered, and we're more resilient because of it.
Because what happened here could happen anywhere, Middlesex Health passed along the recommendations made to other local hospitals, and it's being implemented there as well. Now, coming up at 6, you're going to hear from Ellum's friends, hear how they're healing after this tragedy and how they're now opening up about mental health. That's the latest here in Middletown. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.